Alright, so this is where we ended a few days ago.
Okay.
Yes. Now,
Take the 1 out.
can you, yes. First, can you tell me what type of conic is this?
A parabola.
Yes. Is it a circle? Is it a parabola? Is it a hyperbola?
It's
What
a
type?
parabola.
How do you know it's a parabola?
X squared.
It has an x squared. Okay? It will have something that is squared. Either the x or the y, one thing will be squared. Okay? And then if I ask you to rearrange, could you do that to where it's in vertex form? That's what I asked. I didn't ask you to do that the first time. I said find the vertex. But now I need to know, can you put it in vertex form? So Justin said we're going to take the 1 out.
Yep.
How are we going to take the 1 out?
The commutative property.
We're just going to take it out and put it over there. Right? Why? Because we need to complete the square to do something right here. To put in a blank here, and we'll have a blank here. Okay? Sometimes I would take the 1 to the other side. You can still do that. But you're just making more work for yourself. Okay? So, to complete the square, what are we doing to complete the square? What's our little formula? B over 2. So we're going to add B over 2. So I'm going to write right here, B over 2, and squared will be right here. So here we have 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 squared is 4. Okay? So now, instead of, before, I would have said, if we add 4 to this side, we have to add 4 to this side. Okay, but I didn't take it to the other side. So to keep this equal, in this other blank, I need to subtract. I don't know why I just wrote a 3. Because it's going to be a 3. Right? Okay? So if we're adding something here, we have to take it away here on the same side. So good, thank you. So now can you factor x squared plus 4x plus 4?
Yes.
Yes. It's going to be what?
X plus 2 squared.
Now, a little hint with your completing the square from a long time ago, this number right here will always just be b over 2. Okay? Now, when we simplify this out here, the positive 1 minus 4 is?
-3.
Minus 3 or negative 3. Okay. Now, what you know about transforming graphs, what does this 2 do when we want to graph it? We have a parent function that's an x squared. What does that plus 2 do? It moves it where? To the left. That's where our horizontal or our phase shift. So this becomes negative 2. So we move left 2 units. What about this minus 3? What do we call that minus 3 on the outside?
Vertical shift.
It's a vertical shift. Means it's simply going to move it down 3. So now what are we talking about? Moving things. What are we moving? Left 2 and down 3. The vertex. So guess what your vertex is? Negative 2, negative 3. Okay, so if it's in parentheses, that's going to be a left and right shift. If it's not in parentheses, it's an up and down shift. Yes, ma'am. If I had my thing on, I would technically be the 70s.
What's your thing?
Because you know what happens when I wear it? It touches the board a lot.
Does it make marks? Oh.
Yes, and it even opens up little apps.
Wow.
I pulled up my FaceTime app today and everybody saw themselves in my board.
We should take a selfie.
No.
Okay.
Okay. No, that's okay. Alright. So can we keep going? Can I give you another one? Here we go. X squared plus y squared minus 8x minus 4y plus 11 equals 0.
Oh wait, no.
What type of graph is this? What type of conic?
It's like the circle, but it's not a circle.
Why?
Flat circle.
Why is it a flat circle?
Because the x, y are square. I kind of
No. Circles.
It's a hyperbola.
C.
If A equals C,
It's
it's
a circle.
a circle. What is your A and your C?
Okay, they're equal.
They are equal. Your x squared and your y squared are equal. Hyperbolas, Emily, is if they have opposite signs. X and y have different or positive and negative, and they're different numbers.
That's a circle.
This is a circle.
Because they are.
So now, what should we do with this? If I want it in standard form, say, where is the origin?
You know what? Move.
So can we rearrange things?
Yeah.
So can I do x squared minus 8x, put the x's together? And then a y squared minus 4y? Can I do that?
Have you ever seen Top Gun?
Yes.
Of course you have. It's a great movie. Did you know they're coming out with a
Yes.
Are you gonna go see it with them?
Is that
Do you want me to go see a movie with you?
Sure.
Are you asking me?
Let's go see Top Gun too.
Oh, so
It's gonna be
It
amazing.
is going to be amazing. Okay, so why did I leave some space here?
because you need to put it equal.
Just for fun, because I want to complete the square again.
No.
What should I do with that 11? When I have an x squared plus y squared equals r squared, should there be a number on the other side? Can I go ahead and move it to the right? You can rewrite it. So, if I want to complete the square, x squared minus 8y. What's my b over 2 squared?
Oh,
16.
So going to b over 2, which is 4, which is technically negative 4, squared, which is 16. So here I'm going to add 16, because I took it to the other side. If I add 16 to the left side, I must add it to the right side. The next one, my b over 2 here is 4 divided by 2 is 2 squared, which is 4. So I'm going to add 4 to this side. X minus 4. Can you factor? Squared plus equals. Does that equal 9 if you add all that together?
Yeah.
Look at how nice that is.
Oh, because you can take the square root? Wait. Okay.
So now, well, I don't want to yet. This is your equation of a circle. Now the question is it centered at the origin?
Probably.
I'm gonna say no.
No, because the x squared plus y squared equals r squared is centered at the origin. There's nothing else that's moving it right and left. Okay? So what is this equation doing to this? What is your x going to be? What does x equal? Positive 4. So that origin that we knew will move right 4 units. Here, your y value,
Down,
Up.
up 2. So guess where your center is of the circle? The center, yes ma'am,
So, like, if you're moving your graph to those spots, how do you know that's where your actual?
that's where the center of the circle will be.
Because you're assuming it started at 0, 0, but
It start at, everything is generally starting at 0, 0.
And your radius.
know what's
Okay, next,
Your radius is 3.
and the radius is 3. Okay, so let's see, can we actually graph this?
I mean, y'all.
Radius. Look, how far it is from the center.
What's radius?
What?
What's radius?
I didn't ask for radians.
How did you get one?
The radians is the radius going around the circle.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so if I were to ask you to sketch a graph of this, we're gonna pretend. Okay.
Can I do the center point?
Do you want to do the center point? Come on.
Yeah, do the easy one, Ryan. Go ahead. 4-2.
That's so mature. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dude, my hair looks so fuzzy. Sorry. Okay. 4, 1.
It's 70s.
Excellent. All right. Now, does anybody want to go from the center point out the radius?
Yeah, do the hard part, Justin.
All right, fine. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Now.
Oh.
You can't do that. You have to hit the dots.
Come on, Justin. You got it.
You got this.
Right
Do it
hard.
again.
Focus. No.
No.
Triangle.
Oh.
I hate them all.
Yeah. That's exactly what
Okay. How do I get the circle shape? How do I get this?
So you want this? Do you want this?
Mm-hmm. That's what I want.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh
Or
my
you
gosh.
got this, have you seen those that have the eyes on it so you know the shape?
Here's my hand. Here, wait. Undo. Then we can move it around.
With the-
Okay.
You can move it over.
I didn't fake you out.
Stay
Yeah.
on. And you can move it over.
Oh.
That's almost perfect.
The dots need to be moved over.
That was just
Oh,
giant.
that's good. That's so good. How did you do that?
It's a shame.
Oh.
Stop. Stop. Okay. Then this make this small.
Nobody said that.
There. That there. You make the green.
I'm just kidding.
Ah!
This is just getting
You
worse.
did that to yourself.
You played yourself.
There.
There you go.
Like the one on the right is a little bit. Yeah. It's okay. And on the top. Yep.
It's perfect.
Okay. So, can you sketch it? Could we have sketched it from this?
What?
Absolutely.
Really?
No.
I don't think I would.
Generally, you're not going to be able to sketch from something like this.
The L on that one.
Okay?
It would take forever.
If this right here is what we call standard form, because that will tell you the center, that will tell you the radius, and from there you can sketch the graph. Okay? They don't have to be perfect. Just here to tell you, they don't have to be perfect. Are you ready for another one? Whew. So they really just give you like one of each, and they don't do any in betweens. Okay.
You should write your own math. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm okay not.
You can make mine.
4x squared plus 3y squared plus 4x minus 2y equals 0.
I know what this is.
Now what is this one?
Ellipse.
This one is an ellipse. So sometimes they're just going to ask you to identify. Why is it an ellipse? Emily?
Because it's for ax plus by.
Okay.
Ax squared.
And they don't equal the same things, but they're both the same sign.
What is
Okay.
this?
So your x squared does not equal the y squared.
What
The
is?
A.
Oh, sorry. What
Okay.
if it's 4x squared minus
then that would be a hyperbola if they're
because
different
they're the
signs.
same sign.
They have the same
Yeah.
sign,
Oh.
like the positive or negative. They're the same sign, but the A and the B are not equal to each other. Your x squared and y squared.
Even the A and B doesn't equal each other. It's different signs. It's still hyperbole. Thank you.
All right. So could we rewrite this so we know a center
Yeah.
of what it is?
Put the X's together.
We're gonna put the x's together. So we have a 4x squared plus 4x. We have a 3y squared minus 2y, and all that still equals 0. Now, can you ever remember completing the square when there's a number beside the x squared? Have we ever done that?
Probably, I'm sure. You wanna give us a hint?
I'll give you a hint that you had to do something with it first. You couldn't leave it there.
Divide everything by
Or maybe factor the 4 out. This 4 cannot stay there.
That's why I was.
Divide, sure. We're gonna divide it all. So factor out that 4 so that your x squared is by itself. Should I factor out that 4 also?
Yeah.
Yes, because I'm putting in parentheses. Now I can fill in the blank for my b.
But you have to.
Sorry, not b over 2. Sorry.
You have to think about the outside four while you're doing that.
I will have to, yes,
That's so annoying.
but not at this exact moment.
Wait, what about the three?
What about that 3?
Two divided by
Factor out
2/3.
three.
No wait.
You have to factor out the 3.
Oh, you need to take that out.
Yeah. You can't leave it in there. Now, the question is, what, I factored out the 3. That one was nice and pretty that it just factored out as the same number. But what about this? Oh,
Minus.
2/3. Oh, Miss Evans.
You got it.
Well,
The crazy thing is that it still works out somewhat nice. Somewhat. Okay, so here, your b over 2, first blank. What are we putting in there? What is your b?
1/4.
b is 1 over 2, 1/2, squared is 1/4. Okay? But now the question is, what did we really add when we put that 1/4 there?
1.
Because we have a 4 times that. That's when we have to think about it.
but we don't have to change what we're writing down.
No, you leave that in that blank, but what you write in this blank
Oh.
needs to be what you really added, which is the 4 times 1/4. Okay? Let's go purple for this one. So what are we writing in this blank? What's 2/3 divided by 2?
2, 6, 1,
So here we go. 2/3 divided by 2.
1,
So we flip, we cancel. So it's 2/3 times a half. Our 2's cancel, it's a third. What's 1/3 squared? 1/9.
But then
Okay.
we multiply by 3, it's just back to 1/3.
So we go here, we do that, that's a 1/3. Whew. Now, when we go here, 4 parentheses, what do we have?
X plus 1 half.
X plus 1/2 squared.
Times O squared. 3 times y minus 1/3 squared equals 4/3.
Can we just go ahead and put 4/3? Is that okay?
Oh, 1 over 1. 1.
What?
Oh, 1 and 1.
Okay. Now, we're not done.
The center.
Of course we're not. Because with ellipse,
This one.
with hyperbolas,
Wait, is ellipsis? What was
ellipses,
ellipses?
yeah, I think it's ellipses. I don't know.
What is it?
Plural, multiple ellipses.
I think I got that.
Like I wouldn't say ellipses.
Is
parabolas, when you have something with the x squared, if you have something here and something here, your number over there on the side by itself, they want it to be 1. Okay? They want it to be 1.
So
Just because they do.
Well,
So can we do what, Justin? No. Can we divide? Or can we multiply? So we have a positive 1 there.
sure, let's do that.
Can we multiply both sides by 3/4?
They want one.
I guess.
For what?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Why
So-
do they want one?
Just because it's the yes. So we want this to be 1, so we're gonna multiply. Yes, ma'am.
So for ellipses and then hyperbolas, they want to be 1 or just ellipses?
Both.
But circles it doesn't matter because it's gonna be the square root of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the
Yeah.
purpose?
Because it's not. Because okay, circle the radius is the same distance all the way around. An ellipse is the same distance all the way around. Is it that same equal distance? No, it's not. So it doesn't have the exact same qualities or what's a good word? Exact same features, properties that circles have.
properties.
Properties is probably the word I was looking for.
Characteristics.
Characteristics, that's another good word. So when I multiply this by 3/4, wait, do I need to multiply both? Do I have to distribute that?
Both sides.
Okay.
This is a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
Alright, but the good thing is it's multiplication.
And the good thing is it's multiplication.
What part is it?
So,
This is 12 over 4 and then it's not over 4.
and I will, can I laugh and say where your book immediately goes? They give you the beginning and then they give you the end.
Oh, that's
They don't show you anything in the in-between.
Why do we even use this?
They
How
fail.
dare
You can write your own.
I don't think I need to write
But
mine.
like, I kind of
So-
knew that was happening because like I would be looking back at lessons for stuff and be like,
Why do we
what?
use it?
You know? I guess.
Ultimately, they think that you can just get from here to here and just know how to do it. I'm here to fill in the
Clearly,
gaps.
they don't know who I am.
Clearly.
Well,
So here, let's simplify.
let me see
X
it.
plus 1/2.
Let me see how educated they are.
I'm
Okay, so what happens with this 3/4 times
becomes
4?
a 3.
It just becomes a 3. Now, I'm going to tell you something else. I know, I shouldn't. I don't feel like I can just tell you everything at the beginning.
Can we do
They
3?
don't want it out here. These are going to cancel, yes. And you got a 3. But they don't want it out there. They want to say, hey, we want it underneath.
Why?
How could, because it's the how far you're going to move.
So
Left and right.
it
and
would
the
be 1/3.
axis. You can. So if I want to move 3 to the bottom, can I simply divide by 1/3?
Wait,
That's
too
too
much. Can we slow that down? So we got 3 because we multiplied those. But then
We
instead of
multiplied
saying we're
3/4
multiplying
times
by
4.
3, it's
So this is
divided.
really a 3.
Okay, but then we're okay.
Okay?
too much.
Honestly,
And you say so just hyperbole.
I don't know.
Now this over here becomes 9/4. Nothing reduces. This became 9/4. That's a plus sign. Y minus 1/3 squared over. Can I put 9/4 in the denominator?
Well, no, because you're gonna have to flip. Wait.
Could I put it as 4/9?
Yeah.
But if I flipped the second number multiplied, it would be 9/4. Okay, what's on the right side?
A 1.
Simply a 1. Okay, this is the standard form of an ellipse.
Their standard form is not.
I'm going to tell you why.
I wonder how long does it take for these people to figure out how to do it like this.
Okay, let me tell you what everything means. Let me tell you what everything means. This x plus 1/2. This is going to be your center to be right here. The x and the y. That will be the center point. Okay?
Wait. So it's negative.
So your center will be what? Negative 1/2, comma, 1/3. Now, these numbers underneath. What color have I not used? We're going to use this pink color. These numbers under here will be, do you remember, kind of like the circle? We had an r squared. Okay, this means our x values will move the square root of whatever's in the denominator. Okay, our x's will move the square root. They give letters. I hate the letters that they give, though. Yes, horizontal. The square root of, in this case, 1/3. Over here, the 4/9, the y's, the vertical, will move the square root of whatever's in your denominator. In this case, 4/9.
So it's 2/3. No.
So when we were graphing, we have to measure from square roots now?
Well,
That's not.
what's the square root of 3? I mean, it's 1 over the square root of 3, which is really, I mean, if you need a decimal, it's okay. Yeah, plug that in your calculator. It's 1 divided by the square root of 3.
What if it's negative?
Like square roots?
Okay. Can it be negative?
So the,
No.
I mean, does the negative?
This right here will be the only thing that possibly can be negative. And that means it's a hyperbola and that you're doing something different. Okay? You're never going to have the negative go with these to be the square root of it.
What if that?
That we're going to do one in just a second. It'll be a hyperbola, I promise. It'll be okay.
What if
So
one?
if we want to graph, if I was saying sketch the graph, we need the center and we need how far we're moving right and left, up and down.
I have a question.
Okay? Yes.
So the one is negative.
It's not going to be because you are making it be 1. You have to make it be 1. You are doing that. Yes.
The ellipse things are, it's like an oval, right?
Yes.
And hyperbolas are the sideways. Okay.
Okay, so do you have this written down?
Yep.
Because I all of a sudden can't scroll any farther down. That's one problem, and I can't go any farther.
Okay.
Okay, so here we go. And I'm even going to take, no, I'm not. I'm
We've
just
got
gonna,
5 minutes.
We can do.
so where's my center?
Negative 1/2, 1/3.
Negative 1/2, and then positive 1/3. It's right there. That's my center. Okay? Somebody tell me what's 1 divided by? What's 1 divided by the square root of 3? 0.577.
So, can we just
So-
say half? No, that would.
It's a little more than a half. Okay? So that was my x. X's move. The square root of 1 over the square root of 3, which we know is this 1/3, which is approximately 0.577. So my x values are going a little bit farther than 1. That's 1, it's going a little bit farther out. And it's going a little bit farther out than this half. Okay, what about my y's? What did the y's move? What did the y's move? The square root of 4/9, which is? It's 2/3. I didn't ask you to graph this one. So from our center, our y's need to move. If this is 1/3, I need to double it to go up to actual 1. And go down to -1/3. Okay? So this is our graph. Yeah, we're going to pretend. It's an oval.
Yeah. Not great.
Okay? But it's squished in more than it's like pulled up almost.
It looks like a human head.
Sure, yeah, it kind of looks like a human head. Right there.
It made me look like a mathematician.
Can you do one? Another one. Maybe even on your own. On your own. One problem. So here we go. 4x squared minus 3y squared plus 8x minus 2y plus 7 equals 0. You're going to do the same thing you did on the last one. Okay?
So what this is?
You need to be able to identify what shape is this. It is a hyperbola. How do you know?
Different sides.
Have opposite sides. The x squared and y squared are opposite sides. Okay? I need you to be able to rearrange, do exactly what we did with the ellipse. You're going to complete the square with the x's. And then once you completed the squares, you're going to have a number on the right side. I need you to make it 1. Okay? Yes.
We do the b over 2 square thing once you get to this, right? We'll do already taken. Okay.
Well, you have to take out that 4 before you can do it. Did you factor out a -3?
No, that's not about to be. I just
Okay. Sorry.
This is a challenge.
Oh wait, but
So you have to make it be a positive. Alright, so you write this down, work on it, and
Wait,
you may go.
did you say this can be negative or positive?
Well, if it's negative, it's going to be a hyperbola. But it can be negative.
So it can be.
Yes.
Oh, it's
Exactly.
negative is.
It's just changing that it's a hyperbola. Yep.